Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. PSG are looking into potentially signing £50,000 a week Arsenal player. PSG are reportedly looking into signing Arsenal defender Gabriel Magalhaes this summer. That's according to journalist Dean Jones, who was writing about the Brazilian's future for Give Me Sport. Mikel Arteta is putting together an incredibly exciting squad at Arsenal right now. A pair of players look set to arrive at the Emirates in the coming days, following Kai Havertz through the door. Declan Rice and Yurian Timber will immediately improve the overall quality of the squad when they eventually arrive. Putting together a squad that can compete with Manchester City is incredibly difficult. Arsenal did brilliantly to keep up with them for as long as they could, but ultimately fell short. The last thing Mikel Arteta will want this summer is one of his stars leaving the club as they look to build on last year's success. Arsenal will therefore be wary of the interest from PSG in defender Gabriel Magalhaes. The £50,000 a week centre-back formed a fantastic partnership with William Saliba last season. Arteta won't want that disrupted going into the upcoming campaign. Writing on Give Me Sport, Jones said, "There are issues that need to be sorted, departures need to happen, and potential bids from other clubs for players in the plans also have to be dealt with. An example of this would be Gabriel, who has been the focus of admiring glances for Paris Saint-Germain. Paris Saint-Germain have had plenty of change to deal with already this summer. Lionel Messi departed at the end of his contract and is heading to MLS side Inter Miami. Kylian Mbappe has announced he won't be signing a new deal either, with Arsenal tentatively linked with the Frenchman. They have also parted ways with the manager Christophe Galtier and announced Luis Enrique would be their new coach yesterday. It might be a surprise if Gabriel wanted to leave the stability of Arsenal for PSG now. The project at the Emirates only appears to be getting more exciting, whereas the French champions are in the middle of a transition that looks set to extend into next summer when Mbappe leaves. The 25-year-old would be better off staying put this summer and seeing just how good this Arsenal team can be. 5 clubs now want to sign phenomenal Arsenal player. He wants to leave. The latest report suggests that 5 clubs are interested in signing Arsenal attacker Folarin Balogun this summer transfer window. According to the Daily Mail, Balogun's future at Arsenal is in doubt as he wants to play consistent first-team football next season. The striker, who scored 21 league goals last season on loan in League One, is expected to leave during the transfer window. The same report suggests that Arsenal want £40 million for Balogun. The 5 clubs interested are AC Milan, Inter Milan, Marseille, Monaco and RB Leipzig. It's no shock to see Balogun pick up lots of interest after such a good season on loan in France. The striker scored 22 goals in 39 games in all competitions. The phenomenal talent has a lot going on at the moment. He most recently switched allegiance to the USA and scored in his second appearance for the national team. With him clearly being a very prolific finisher, it's somewhat of a shock to hear him being reportedly allowed to leave during the summer. He is also only 22 years old and clearly has bags of potential. The clear issue is that Arsenal have a great attacking talent, and forward Gabriel Jesus is currently ahead of Balogun in the pecking order. With the report suggesting that Balogun wants consistent game time, it will be hard to keep him at the club. This is due to the fact that they cannot promise this to him. It's a good time at Arsenal right now, but Balogun is picking up some big interest from top clubs, so he is definitely a player to watch this transfer window. Danny Murphy backs 25-year-old to be surprise midfield option for Arsenal next year. Danny Murphy has suggested that he could see Ben White doing well in the Arsenal midfield next season after hearing the 25-year-old mentioned as a potential contender to push forward. Murphy was speaking on the 5 YouTube channel and suggested that the England international is actually a lot better than many realize. Ben White is potentially one of the Arsenal players with a question mark hanging over his role in the side next season. Of course, White was a revelation at right back for Mikel Arteta's side last season, but as reported by the Daily Mirror, Arsenal are closing in on a move for Jurriën Timber, and like White, Timber can play as a right back or centre back, so there appears to be few guarantees that White will keep his starting spot next year. That prompted Alex Crook to suggest on Talksport that he could see Arteta pushing White into midfield, much like Pep Guardiola has with John Stones at Manchester City. Clearly, Murphy was initially taken aback by the suggestion. However, he claimed that he could definitely see it working. He said, "This is madness." It was a journalist. He was saying that Ben White might be used more holding. It makes sense if Timbers come in and can play right back and the options are there. I think Ben White's better than you think. I think he could do that. White is not actually a complete stranger to the role. While on loan with Leeds a few years ago, he was used in holding midfield by Marcelo Bielsa on a couple of occasions when Calvin Phillips was unavailable, and of course, few would have expected that he would prove to be so impressive at right back, but he took to the role so seamlessly last season, so it's hard to rule anything out at this stage. Arsenal player set for discussions with Mikel Arteta. The latest report suggests that Arsenal defender Nono Tavares is set to hold talks with the club to decide where his future lies. According to the Express, Nono Tavares is set to hold crunch talks with Arsenal over his future. No doubt these talks will also be with Mikel Arteta. It's no doubt a very big summer for Arsenal. Now that they challenged for the title last season, expectations from the fans and the hierarchy will be hoping they can replicate a great campaign. Perhaps many will expect them to go one further, but it's always hard to beat Manchester City to the Premier League title. The extraordinary defender struggled in his first campaign at the Gunners. Despite this, his loan last season at Marseille looks to have done him the world of good. At the League One club, Tavares excelled as an attacking left back. The 23-year-old managed to have a very successful season. He featured 39 times and also managed to score 6 goals for the club. With him still so young and getting great experience, he may still have a career at Arsenal. The club have signed Zinchenko and also have Kieran Tierney in the same position as Tavares. Due to this, one of the players will definitely have to leave. There have been reports linking Tierney with a move away from the club. If this were to happen, then no doubt Tavares could be good cover for Zinchenko. The Gunners and Mikel Arteta definitely have a big decision. They signed Tavares at a young age due to the potential they believed he had. Therefore, to let him go after a couple of seasons with him performing well out on loan seems like a waste of signing. Ronald de Boer now shares a story about Arsenal new boy Jurriën Timber. Ronald de Boer has shared what Arsenal target Jurriën Timber did in his first ever Champions League match. De Boer was speaking to The Athletic about the young defender who looks set to be heading to the Emirates. Arsenal have only made one signing so far this summer in the form of Kai Havertz. However, 2 more appear to be on the horizon, and one of those is Jurriën Timber. The Ajax defender has reportedly reached a full agreement to join Arsenal very soon. It's an exciting signing for Mikel Arteta, with Timber capable of playing in several positions in defense or midfield if required. He is only 22, but De Boer has been speaking about how Timber copes under pressure, which will encourage Arsenal. The Gunners are preparing for their first season back in the Champions League for some time. Having a player like Timber in the squad, who already have some experience in the competition, will be invaluable. Speaking about his European debut, De Boer said, "He has no fear. I remember his first game in the Champions League. It looked like he had already been there for 100 games. He played with no fear. I remember he pretended to play the ball back to the goalkeeper, but stepped over it and moved into midfield. The confidence was unbelievable. When someone is chasing him, he keeps calm." Coping well under pressure will certainly appear to Mikel Arteta. His side struggled towards the end of the last season, with Manchester City bearing down on them. In the end, They fell short of winning an unlikely Premier League title, and it was clear the squad were feeling the pressure. De Boer's comments on Timber will encourage Arsenal fans ahead of the new season. Gunners fans told they have got a superstar player and don't even know it yet. Anton Ferdinand believes that Arsenal fans do not realize just what a talent they are said to have on their hands with Declan Rice, insisting that we have not yet seen the best of the midfielder. Ferdinand was speaking on the 5 YouTube channel as the West Ham captain edges closer on his move to the Emirates after weeks of speculation. Declan Rice looks set to finally become an Arsenal player this week. The Guardian report that he is about to undergo a medical on Friday after a £105 million move was agreed. It's surely going to be one of the biggest deals of the summer, and the Gunners will hope that it's the signing which takes them even closer to Manchester City in the Premier League title race. But perhaps Rice could be even better for Arsenal than their supporters realize. Anton Ferdinand suggests that he has the potential to reach a scary level in the years to come. He said, "The Arsenal fans don't even realize what they have got yet. They have got a maestro. They have got a player who can not only intercept, play, and tackle well, but on the ball, we ain't seen the best of him, I don't think. We have seen glimpses in a West Ham shirt, the goal he scored in the Europa Conference League, where he drove from inside his box and put it away in the bottom corner with his wicker foot with a little shimmy. He's got that in abundance, by the way." Rice stepped up in a big way during the final weeks of last season. In fact, everything seemed to change from the moment he stole the ball of Thomas Partey in that dramatic draw at the London Stadium. It's definitely fair to say that he has not reached his ceiling yet. Ultimately, he is going to be surrounded by better players at the Emirates. That will push him, but it will also give him the platform to start to realize his full potential. Judging by Ferdinand's comment, that is going to be a very exciting prospect for Arsenal fans. Arsenal began talks to sign a 22-year-old with 9 goals and 11 assists last season. Arsenal are reportedly keen on signing Jeremy Frimpong from Bayer Leverkusen. According to journalist Steven Bienkowski, Arsenal have now opened talks with the German club regarding a move for the 22-year-old right-back. He said, "I am told discussions between Arsenal and Leverkusen for Jeremy Frimpong are at a very early stage, nothing concrete yet. The Bundesliga club would not let him go for less than €50 million and will likely expect more." Apparently, talks are at an early stage and the player is likely to cost in excess of €50 million. It's no secret that Arsenal need to sign a quality right-back, and Frimpong would be a superb acquisition. The 22-year-old is quite impressive going forward, and he could add a new dimension to the Arsenal attack. The Dutchman is versatile enough to operate as the right-back as well as a wing-back. He could be a long-term asset for Mikel Arteta if Arsenal manage to get that deal done. The talented young defender has been linked with a move to the Premier League in the past as well, and it remains to be seen whether he ends up at Arsenal. Frimpong contributed to 9 goals and 11 assists across all competitions last season, and he would certainly be an upgrade on Ben White going forward. The central defender has been used as a fullback this past season, and the signing of Frimpong would allow him to operate in his natural position next season. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.